So welcome back. This is InkTober 8, day 8. Today's prompt is reckless. So I had in mind to draw a skater just about to eat-ish, you know? So thinking worm's eye view maybe, and he's flailing and hitting the ground just before he hits the ground. So let me see what I'm kind of just gonna, I couldn't really find any references I liked for that specific angle. So I'm just gonna kind of do my comic style thing and hopefully it comes out all right. And with that, let's get into it. For today, I'm drawing a skater boy. She said, see you later, boy. So, my wife is trying really hard not to laugh at my stupid ass. Okay, so for this one, I'm gonna try my best to draw a dude skating. Now, I can get references and stuff, but I think I was gonna have him flailing, right? Like, so I'm gonna try to get the body right and see, it's just fun. This is supposed to be fun, okay? I'm gonna get his torso, his butt sticking up in the air, maybe his leg flying up this way. I mean, his face is going to be falling. I wasn't sure how I wanted to do it. I mean, skating can be very reckless to your body, you know? Like, I mean, you're reckless with your body if you're skating. I used to BMX when I was a kid. I skated a little bit, but it's dangerous. So if you don't care, power to you. It's also reckless to haul ass on a motorcycle too, but I did that once or twice. Oh, you know what I was just thinking? I don't know, that might be kind of cool too. I might have to just switch my whole damn thing up. I just did like a big ass motorcycle wheel back here and do the perspective of the wheel like this and start like he's doing flying past everybody and do the speed lines coming off like he's going tunnel vision. That could be pretty cool. What do you think? I might have to just change my mind on this. Yeah, I think being reckless, I mean, a motorcycle hauling ass, that's pretty damn reckless. So I'm gonna try to take full advantage of this. I'm just gonna kind of wing an idea of a bike. Oh, let's see. Oh, I'm looking for a decent angle. Okay, now I got the my motorcycle. I wanted to do it really extreme. I can try still maybe. So like say a point of reference back here is the distance, disappearing view, something like that. And then this is just the focal point, you know, from the, still sort of a worm's eye view. I want it to be ridiculous though. So the wheel back here, a lot of people don't realize motorcycle wheels are actually rounded. They're not flat like a car wheel. And it's because the way that you turn has to do with the way that these wheels are, or the way the tires are. And I learned from the hard way that the sidewalls are really hard and they don't want to flex when you go really hard into a turn. Don't do it. Don't find out the hard way like I did. Motorcycles don't like that much. Motorcycles are I've wrecked is what I'm trying to say, if that's not obvious. I actually took a corner way too hard and the sidewall hit a patch of sand on the, where the debris is. It wasn't really and there was a lot of stuffs, but I just took the turn too hard too anyway. It's my fault. Only time I ever did that though. Only time I ever really wrecked. I dropped my bike in the rain once. That pissed me off. I went to leave the bank and it was downpouring. I had to go get my money cashed though. I had bills to pay and I didn't have any other way to get there but on my bike. Then I go to leave the parking lot and I slipped. I was like, son of a bitch, when the bike fell over on me, but I caught it. All right, so we're gonna do a big old pipe on the side here. That goes into the bike. You don't usually see that too much. Into the fairing, comes back a ways. This will be a little bit more cartoony because I am not going to painstakingly draw all the details of the motorcycle. And I dropped foot pegs too. Foot pegs on this bike come out sort of towards the back as you lean quite a bit. I'm referencing a Hayabusa, by the way, one of the fastest motorcycles ever produced. No longer the fastest, but for the longest time it was. While I know a lot of things about bikes and cars, I don't know every little detail that it would be on one of these. So I'm using this as my reference. And then the license plate comes down here, but we're gonna pretend this is a street race bike that you shouldn't be riding on the street. Okay, so I'm gonna do like a guy riding. So his foot, let's just say his foot's leaning forward. So there's the heel, my brilliant boot design. And then, so I'm gonna go ahead and draw him on here so I don't like overdo it. So his knees should be up here somewhere. And he's wearing some kind of pants or something. Nope. And then just winging this. Like I said, I do not what I do. Hips should be in here somewhere. Then he's gonna be kind of like hunched down. Maybe the top of his helmet or something is up here. Shoulders. Start looking at that reference of this bike. And he's got the handlebar. The throttle's at. It comes down quite a bit more than that. Flatten that too much. I'm gonna put like a back protector on it, and my interpretation of a back protector. I will say too, I was wearing gear that day that I ate it. So if I hadn't been, we wouldn't be talking. And your jacket tends to be really tight when you're riding. At least it should be. You don't want it to loose. If it's real loose, the fabric can actually like twist when you hit the ground, and you know that doesn't help you any. Trying to put so he's leaning forward a little. He's not like really leaning forward. Just trying to see what else I can put in here for this angle. Maybe the tank is sitting in front of him like this, and the windshield is kind of in front of him. So maybe he's just sitting up a little. And I'm just trying to think about what else you might be able to see on the bike from this angle. The front wheel. This would be a blur if he's hauling, right? So This is off a little bit. It's not terrible, I guess. Like sitting on the seat, so the seat, let's just pretend the seat comes back like this. High boost has really deep set seat. And then the frame comes down here. I was trying to get folds in his pants, but it doesn't really work very well. So. And I was going to have him sitting down a little bit further, but I think that's okay. I think he's okay like this. Where's me? I was saying you might be able to see some of his instrument clusters, so maybe just like this would be good. There's reservoir is here. Brake reservoir. I flipped my reference image, so I'm throwing myself off. Yeah. Okay, yeah, I was trying to remember which side it was on. Damn. So his brake reservoir is over here. So that should do. So he's just whipping boy. This is his exhaust, or it's supposed to be. And close enough. That's actually, it came out faster than I expected it to. Yeah, and so he's got this line, he's just disappearing into the distance kind of a thing. Let's just say that the street is this way. When you start going fast on a motorcycle, I don't know if you realize, these start to blur, the little stripe lines. You start to not really notice where they are. Okay, I'm gonna take it out there. It's a little small. That's cool. Oops. It's a little small on that side now. I might pull, yeah. Just feel like it's a little too small. And this road doesn't have to be straight, you know, curve off to the distance. I think that looks a little better. What do you think, boss lady?
Oh wow, that's really good.
Like him?
Yeah, that's really good.
That's
crazy good.
Just memory drawing a guy. So he's just riding his motorcycle. Hand over the top. Now, if you've never ridden before, your right hand is throttle. And let me just put a jacket on it a little better. Hear that? Someone is just mowing the lawn. The city comes out. There's a grass section right in the middle of our section of the neighborhood. Like where we live, there's a bunch of these like little islands. I don't know why they're there. It's just because. And right, because of that, you get to hear the mowing of the lawn. I don't know why I'm telling you that. Shazam. Anyway, so what was I gonna do? Well, he was flying down the road. Perspective is really cool, I think. I don't necessarily have to have him going off into the distance, although I think that would be kind of cool. It would be easier to draw. I could draw like a mountain, mountain backdrop or something. But I'm thinking lines coming off of him. Maybe just rocks. I'll just do like some rocks here, like the California countryside. My wife and I've been up there a few times, and it's pretty cool. There's a lot of like boulders and stuff laying on the side of the road, and it is incredibly. I mean, there are certain roads that you can go down that are just really dangerous if you're not paying attention. And funny because there's boulders and stuff like in Kentucky where they fall and they fall off the mountainsides and stuff too, but it's just different in Cali. A lot of people like to ride hard out here because I'm not in Cali, by the way, just saying we used to go out there, not currently. Anyway, there's a lot of like fallen debris and rocks and things like that, like stuff to really ruin your day. There's like these little bushes that kind of look like the tumbleweed bushes you think of in the old westerns and stuff. I mean, that's what they are, really. They dry up and turn into tumbleweed, I guess. I don't know. I thought this would be more interesting than the skateboard guy because, although, I don't know, I might have been okay with the skateboards. I'm just saying, this is something that is more to my current speed. I like to watch skateboarding fails though. I mean, for that to be plenty, by the way. Yeah, they have like these huge fields out there. There's rocks, there's bushes and stuff. I just figured I'd create some of that. And then the embankments of the turns and stuff have to do with the fact that you're going to run at this hillside that kind of juts out into the road, where they could like blown it up with dynamite or something to get it to be a usable road. All right, any decent riding gear will have plates where your point of contacts are, like your shoulders and your elbows and stuff. They're also reflective plates for when you're riding on the road. So I'm just trying to give, it's just my interpretation of a jacket like that. I'm not really looking anything up. You know, same with your pants. You usually have like some kind of a knee protector, especially if you're wearing leathers. Really good riding gear, but nonetheless, I think that's pretty good for now. And for that, I'm gonna go get the ink ready, and then I'm gonna ink it up and see what happens. For this, I'm going to do the Japanese nib, and then I'm going to see how different it feels compared to the other one. So, you know, the more you use them, the more you're going to start to realize the differences. At least that's how I am. Let me start on the center. Yeah, that was not nearly enough. This is the wash. Hang on. I might use that, though. I might put it in the background. I'm not sure yet. It's hard because motorcycles are machined to perfection, you know? For me, though, it's not about the style. I used to be very particular about that kind of thing, making everything perfect, but I kind of forced myself to stop being so OCD about it. It's not any fun. It's just really stressful is what it is. And then this back wheel, I was going to make really black, really striated maybe. By striation, I just mean, I'm trying to be careful. Not perfection, but careful. This is reckless. I'm not trying to be. That's cool. Normally, I don't even know what I was going to say. Ignore me. The wheel, you know, you're gonna, because it's moving, you'll see that optical illusion where it says going backwards. I always thought of it. It has to do with frame rate, how fast the wheel's moving and stuff. But, you know, it looks like a big blur when you're looking at it. Center tends to not spin as much as the outer side because it catch up to the inside. Further out it goes, fast spin. That's cool. Just so you can see like a solid, the impression that it's solid, like solid wheel, but the spokes are still going around. I could have just drawn spokes and blurred them out, but this is how I decided to do it. That works. I think a wheel. Not sure if I'm going to brush that or not. I'm just going to see what it's like for it. Nope. Trying to push the ink around. Have a hard time. Again, not an ink master. Fun though. Get rid of some of that harsh line. Oh, I'm being awful quiet this time actually. So if you're working too much, it gets starts tearing it up. You know, keep wanting to do that and forgetting to grab the damn paper towel. All right, getting somewhere. I'm just gonna pull this jack down to here actually. All right, he's wearing gloves. Supposed to be anyway. I might blacken him up, but I don't know yet. Ink upside down. He's wearing gear. So in order to create the sense that the mountains back here are further away, I can do something like this. Kind of separate texture, you know? Those feel much further away that way. And those aren't meant to be speed lines, it's just the clouds in the sky sometimes can be like, you know, the contrails from planes and stuff, but we can also give it a sense that he's on the booty. Just to get rid of some of that negative space to kind of focus on him a little bit. That's the idea anyway. Cool, I think I like that. I mean, it's not perfect, but nothing really is it? So for that, I think I am actually done. Here's the, see if I can, here's the finished piece using the number 2 Japanese nib. So I'm kind of torn between it and smooth nib. They're very similar. I do like the way that this came out. Let this dry. I'm going to erase it up and then I'll on to the next one. Let me, before I put this away, let me sign it real quick, as is tradition for me now. Which way I know later. I don't know if I'm going to sell these or not. Or, you know, when I say sell them, I'm not talking about for a lot. I'm talking like $10 top. I don't sell my stuff for very much. I'd rather go to somebody if they want it than just sit in the house of Jen like, I'm better than that. I deserve them all. Like, whatever. It's not how I see it. So there's some little things here and again I could change, but I think I'm okay with that. I think it's pretty cool. But if you hung out this far, I really appreciate it. I was much quieter this video. Focusing on that, I guess. I don't know. And if you like these videos and you like hanging out, let me know. Share, comment, like, subscribe, do all the things. I will see you in the next one.